So I'm gonna be real honest. I started this Learning to Live series, and I will say I thought that the beginning of this journey was gonna be fun and exciting and in play. And I know obstacles come up because subconscious stories and beliefs come up, and there's resistance. And I thought that that would be a little bit later down the line. And I created my first video talking about how I'm committed to starting this journey. And lo and behold, within the first couple of days, resistance has shown up. And it has been uh, it has been a journey. I am so thankful that I committed and shared with people that I wanted to be on this journey, because I really was second guessing this. And it goes back to the vision and intention on why this is so important, because I don't want to just exist. Like, I really want to thrive and live and experience in all that that gets to be. So, some of the things that have come up for me since I have started this Learning to Live is, well, one of the stories that I am facing in a couple different ways is all of the times and ways that I want to quit, where I make really good, rational excuses on why it's okay for me to quit, why something's not working out, and I can just give up. And that was in regards to the creating this series. And also, one of like the fun things I wanted to try doing, because one of the things I love is I love candles, and I love having candlelit spaces at night. It really is just something that as one of my friends says, turns me on. It turns me on and lights me up on the inside. So I was like, well, what if I made my own candles? And this is the first candle that I have made, and this candle almost didn't happen because I fucked up with passion while I was trying to make the candle. And I was frustrated, and I said, this isn't it. This isn't for me. And I took a breath, and I was like about to give up, and I said, no, there's another way that I can make this happen. And I did, and I made my first candle. So that's something that I'm definitely celebrating. So as I'm looking at all of the ways that quitting comes up, and where I get to really go back to my vision and why it's important. So that's one thing that has come up, very honestly. Another piece is that I'm guiding off of is the concept that I am taking care of a little human. I am a spirit that is here on this earth taking care of a human. And how do I want to take care of that human? Because one of the biggest obstacles that I have experienced on my journey of life up until this point is guilt around rest. And when I look at it through the lens of I'm taking care of a human, I'm not a mom. I'm a fur mama. But when I think about that, I think of like, well, how would I want to take care of a child if I had a child? Which is me. I am my child. And I look at it as, well, I would make sure that that little human eats nourishing food, rests, has time to play, has time to create, really liven that spirit. So when I look at rest in that lens, I was like, I would never be upset with a toddler, with a little kid, for resting and napping, because how many of us have experienced toddlers who need to take a nap and then they fight it, and lo and behold, that's exactly what they needed, so they can come back refreshed, revived. So I've been working to allow myself rest without guilt, and rest before it's to a point of depletion. I will say also that I had put myself to a point where I was already in depletion and experiencing exhaustion before I allowed myself to rest. And it's a learning opportunity. This is a part of the journey where I'm learning where I get to go in taking care of myself, in loving myself, and nurturing myself before it gets to the point of exhaustion, of debilitating, like, feelings, sensations, and wanting to just turn off and shut down, because I've tried turning off and shutting down my whole life, and that has not generated the results that I've wanted. So if I'm looking to create a life where I'm really living and thriving and experiencing, I get to allow myself to experience the highs and the lows. And I thought I'd be sharing some really fun, exciting things that have happened the first couple weeks, and like the first couple days, I should say. And lo and behold, it is the beautiful lesson of where I get to look at the stories, the resistance that has come up, because I am now choosing to operate on this journey of learning to live in a way that I haven't operated up until now. I've perfected the art of masking and numbing and shutting down, and that's not what I'm committed to in living. So this is where I'm going in trying something new, in shifting and redesigning, and doing the things that I know is good for my human, regardless of whether I want to, right? Like, I got to go to the gym. Did I want to go to the gym? No. But is that something that's in alignment with how I choose to live and my vision of what I get to create and who I get to be and explore when I'm older? Yes. So in order for that to happen, I get to start living and experiencing that now. So it has been a very eye-opening experience just these first couple of days, and I'm journaling every day in what has come up so I can continue to share in what it is. So wins this week for me is I got to create that candle. Regardless of the resistance that came up, that candle is made, and I'm so excited to continue making and in the trial and error, because it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Who would have thunk? Like, I'm allowing myself to not be perfect, and it's really scary and really exciting, because what can I create when it doesn't have to be perfect the first time? What? I'm also celebrating that I took care of myself, that I rested. When I got to rest, I asked for support in my coaching container, where I have incredible buddies that are with me that got to support while I took care of myself. And I am really, really celebrating being able to receiving love from others and from myself. So I'm so excited for this journey to continue, and all the lessons that I get to continue to learn as I'm learning to live. So I hope that you continue to follow along, and hopefully you get to take something away from this as I am. I'll see you all soon.